agents of the resistance. We must rise. We must resist.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Hello, YouTube. It is your pal, the Two-Wheel Maniac, and I am jealous of Downshift 83 because I am on a Diavel. And holy goodness. That is all. Holy goodness. Well, let's talk about this and let's get this video started because that's all I can do. So this is the 2015 Ducati Diavel, and I'm not super familiar with the Ducati lineup, so I don't know all of their specs, but this is their big V-twin muscle cruiser. And calling it a cruiser doesn't really fit it. Calling it a muscle cruiser fits because it's got crazy ton power, but it's not really a cruiser. It's more of a sport cruiser. And it does not like low RPMs. Here I am, 3,500, accelerating, it just vibrates. This bike has, let's see, how many miles? I'm not quite sure. I think I saw around 3,000 miles, and they are not easygoing miles. Yeah, this likes to be in the power band. Now, let's talk about me real quick. Just a quick recap. I do not own a V-twin. I do not own really sport bikes. I have my dual sport and my VFR, which I have turned into a scrambler of sorts. This is a big, heavy bike. It reminds me of my old XS 1100 when turning it in, except for it actually doesn't mind being turned in. Just you have to remember it's heavy. So I'm a little out of my comfort range here, although this does remind me of my XS 1100. So let's I've got 5 points that I'm going to talk about in my bike reviews from here on out. Comfort, controls, technology, engine, and handling / performance. Comfort's the first thing you're going to notice on a bike. This seat is comfortable. The foot pegs are up a little high for me, and actually we'll talk about it here after a second. Alright, comfort. C is for comfort, and this bike, it's going to get a good grade all said and done. The bike is very comfortable, and the seat is very plush, although I feel like my private region is a little squished in the tank, but that's okay. Of course they put a tunnel in there. So the seat's very comfortable, it's very plush. I do feel like my genitals are a little crunched, but a little adjustment, it's not too bad. The foot pegs are a little higher than I would like with this seat peg. If this were my bike, I would try to lower the seat pegs, the foot pegs, just by about 1 inch. I think that would be ideal. The handlebars are very comfortable. The position is great. I'm in a full upright position, not a sport position at all. It's very much like I'm on a dirt bike, but I look down and there's a whole lot of tank. Also comfort. This bike is very flickable once you're up and moving. I can flat foot it no problem because the seat's so low, but I don't know how easy it is going to be really in low speed. We'll see. Now, because like I said, these bikes were not gently broken in, they were just straight ragged on. I can't really comment too much on the clutch or the brake feel, but from what I do feel, The clutch is super smooth. Not the clutch feel, the gear selection. The gear selection is a little tough to find neutral, and it's very clunky when I'm changing gears. But I think that's just because of the hard braking. The clutch is great. Very precise grab. Alright, let's talk about controls. I kind of hinted at this, but the bars feel great. It did take me a second to realize that there is no key, or I don't know where the key is, but there's this little on-off switch, and then the starter. So I'm sure there's a proximity key. It's probably in the tail section. So you don't actually have to insert a key. Oh, you know what? I bet you it's right there, hanging on. So there's no key. You just click the on-off button. It starts up, and then you click the starter, which took me a second to find because I was hitting on-off looking for a key. But so controls are very good. The brakes grab extremely firmly. Two finger braking is all you need. I mean, I haven't really got up there, but two fingers is all you need to slow this behemoth down. Clutch is great. They're and navigating and looking at all your heads-up information, your clocks, as it were, is very, very easy to do. The gear indicator is a little out of sight, but that's okay. I mean, you're only really looking at gears when you're when I'm trying to find neutral. On the speedometer, the speedo, I wish the speedometer was just a little bit clearer, because it's just there. It doesn't pop out to tell you, oh, you're doing 29 miles an hour. But the controls, all of that said and done, are great. The positioning of the foot controls, again, I think the foot pegs are up a little high, but the positioning of the brake lever and the gear selector are perfect for where I'm sitting. But yeah, that's going to be about it for controls. Technology, we do have different rider modes. Right now I'm in urban, which is going to be more of the, my understanding is going to be a little bit more controlled. But I have no idea because that thing just launched. So the rider modes are there. I don't quite know how to use it. I thought I selected urban, but it looks like it just stayed in sport mode. It could be disabled because it's a demo vehicle. But it does have that. It does have ABS. It has traction control. It's got pretty much everything you need. As far as I know, almost all the Ducati lineup has the new Bosch M9 system, which is the same thing that's going to be on the 1290 Super Duke, which is going to give you that traction control depending on your lean angle, ABS based on lean, wheelie control, all that good stuff. Which is good because this bike has a lot of power. I think it's around 170 horsepower, could be more. It definitely feels super bike quick, you know, under acceleration. Not so much in pure speed, but in acceleration, this thing is quick. Next topic. Engine. There's not much you can't knock on a great big V-twin that revs to 11 grand. There's going to be some performance there for sure. It's a big V-twin. It's pretty smooth as long as you're in the power band above 4 grand. Under that, and well, it's a little vibey. It doesn't like to be short shifted. Here I am, 4 grand. It's just a little. I mean, it's not. It could just be because these bikes were beat on. but the engine is very characteristic. So here I am, 6th gear. 2000. Not a lot of grunt down low, but you're in the power band, this thing just goes. Handling, I kind of touched on it earlier, but it is a big, heavy bike, but the brakes on it are 6 piston up front, 2 piston in the back, huge discs up front, so it'll stop, ain't no question about that. And she'll turn too. Pretty good considering. So good handling, great engine, great comfort. It's a little big, but definitely a really fun bike to ride. Would definitely own one of these downshift. I am jealous because you own this bike. I'll give a final verdict. You'll see that in the description of the video, and we will go from there.